Gina, can you get this light for me, please? Thank you very much.
Mr. Diddy.
Drink your water. Come on, drink your water, but first, take a breath and drink some water. Take a breath and drink some water. Take a breath and drink some water. Take your breath. Drink, 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 drink. Or should I say, breathe, breathe, then drink. Now get your glass and get some water. Get your glass and get some water. Raise your container of that water. Pour your water. Drink, 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 drink. Or should I say, lift, toast, then drink. Now move your body and drink some water. Move your body and drink some water. Move your body and drink some water. Family, move your body. Drink, 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 drink. Or should I say, move, move, then drink. Now, raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors, fam. Just raise your glass. Drink, 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 drink. Or should I say, move, move, then drink. Mixed up right now. Take your breath. Lift and pour. Move your body. Toast your ancestors. Breathe, lift, move, toast. Or should I say, breathe, drink, eat culturally appropriately, and move. But anyway, take your breath. Lift and pour. Move your body. Toast your ancestors. Drink up. Drink your water. Family, great day to you, great day. Getting ready for a long journey. Oh my God. I got on, Jim, give me that shirt. I done did everything. I mixed up. Big. How you doing? We don't know where the weed at, my friend. Alright, but we about to. I forgot. Got the wrong shirt on, so excuse me for a second, family. Shouts out to all those that's up toasting with us early in the morning. We got Brother Kwame on the line. Who else out there? We got, it looked like a Lifestyle 0014. Shouts out. Hope you ain't on no bullshit, because I've been getting people on some bullshit on here early in the morning. But if not, welcome. We about to do our toast. Lines will be open. We're going to have a toast and talk. I got to move out and take a long trip today. But we're going to toast our ancestors as we usually do. That's why I'm up a little bit early right now, because I had a mission. I got something that I have to do. And I am going to pour libations. Then I will open the lines for us to have our discussion, right? Actually do our toast for those that, because some of y'all might not really understand. Let me get stuff situated here. All right. So let me think. All right. I am going to open one of these containers of that ambrosia, my personal health drink. I'm going to pour. Don't want too much of a SCOBY to come out. As y'all can see, that's this one. This one is lively. All right. And I'm going to make me some Gye-Nyame coffee. I got a video coming out on that soon, so be on the lookout on our Gye-Nyame Journey station. I'm going to start moving off of, once again, start trying to move off of the Hot Tim YouTube channel, start moving more towards the Gye-Nyame journal. Just celebrated Charlotte's birthday and our wedding anniversary yesterday, July 5th. Happy birthday, Sister Charlotte, and celebrations to both of y'all for your wedding anniversary. And Kwame, being usually the Black Yoda that he is, came up with an ingenious way in which he would never be able to forget the wedding anniversary. That was brilliant. Strategy. My God, you don't want to mess with the Black Yoda, my man, because he 2-3 steps ahead of a lot of us, man. He like, yo, we gonna get married on your birthday. And I ain't never got to worry about just one gift. Two birds with one stone. Brilliant. So here we go. I got an announcement, look like. And this morning, we are celebrating the birthday of my great-great-nephew. Great? Am I reading that right? Great-great-nephew? Wow. Congratulations out there, family. So we got a lot of good stuff popping off today. So let's get started. So first off, we want to give honor to the Creator by whatever name you choose. Call that Creator. We lift up our glass and we salute that Creator. And we say, Ashe. From there, family, we move to our list of our ancestors. Miles Brown, Ms. Ann, Robert the Texan, Davis, Herman Brown, Sr., Rosalie Tilly, George and William Walton, Chris Fanny Gasson, Aunt Lena, Uncle Chris, Aunt Fiend, Cleveland, Geneva Brown, Margaret Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Alvaro Brown, Gina Gaines, Herman Brown II, Barbara Twiggs, Wash Ellis Jr., Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tappan, John Fallard, Montague Pittman, Normal X, Sapet Mount Ra, Malika Fakur, Dr. Marianne Williams, Kojo Kamal, Elder Millie Dixon, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusuf Weston, Elder Ajani, Elder Ron Coleman, Elder Robert Donaldson, Alfred Brofro, Hector Jr., Jay Edwards, Carlisle Harris, Grace Lundy, Inez Harris, William Bill Moss, Phyllis Rose, Sterling and Lucy Wright, Dig L. Pullian, the Luxter brother, Miss Eda Brooks Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Frederick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Alonzo Johnson, Miss Marie McDowell, James Foster, Charles Jordan, Kel Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Trigg, Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Nana Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Renneman, Virginia Rogers, Reverend James Smith, Lewis Henderson, Calvin Spratling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sarah Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Kellen D. Russell, Susie B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Melvin Dale Hodge, Jr., Herman Copeland, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clay, Bert Beatty, Sarah Well, Levita Farmer, Agosto Sue, Cheryl Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn, Theolis Hasbury, Harvey Asbury Sr., Leonard Dickinson, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Seth Berry, Mark Walsh, Merle B. Thornton, Pearl G. Thornton, Ida Johnson, Rosamund Carter, Joanne Thornton, Erica Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, Mary Elizabeth Rogers, Mary Esther Keechler-Reese, Linda Watson Hammonds, Jarrell Giles Watson, Sparrow, Slimmy, Selvin Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Pearl Moore, Percy Moore Jr., Mildred Owens, Booker T. Bowden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Hilda Pearson, Sturgeon Thornton, Richard Thornton, Lavinia Hall, Freeman Bankster, Mae Moss, Ophelia Peacock, Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kenty, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie Quells, Urania Thornton, Bernice Quells, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Mormon, Leon Johnson, Charles Bell, Vivian Ramsey, S.C. Johnson, Dorothy Johnson, Leon Johnson, James W. West Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Henry World, James Farmer, Mary Chavez, Leon Grace, Bessie Johnson, Hallie Levester, Mary Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martineer, Elder Amatet Wellman, Fred Douglas Triggs Sr., Thelma Triggs, Thomas and Lula Berry, Lacey Eleanor Howe, Franklin Russell and Davis, Fred Douglas Triggs II, Vina Triggs, Reverend Eddie Moore, Helen Fuller, Eugene Jackson Sr., Richard Ellis, Silas Alex, Richard Ellis, Silas Alexander, Charles Maxwell, Percy May Alexander, Arthur Reynolds, Stanley Lockhart, Ricky Lockhart, William Lockhart, Woodrow Lockhart, Brenda Porter, Deacon Hargrove, Carla Sawyer, Andrew Parker, Doris Donald, Ellis Murphy, D'Amico Russell, Didi Monares, Gina Roop Jones, Jana Callahan, William Walter West, Nigella Parrish, Elder Basiji Falani, Jim Robinson, Gladys Johnson, Valerie Clark, John and Mary Sullivan, Dirk Johnson, Antonio Johnson, Delise Waters, DePretis Hines, Inez Bostic, Edna Bostic, Winifred Scanterberry, Wilson Headley, Elma Hines, Phyllis Lee, Eugene Spratling, Calvin Spratling, Charles Wooden, Penny Brown, Roy Lee Printup Jr., Miriam Johnson, Wilbur Longmire, Edith Cadney, Janice Carter, Michael Carter, Leon Pena Carter, Margaret Carter, William Carter, Lisa Jordan, Charles Lee Mosley, Dorothy R. Blair, Ransom Evans Sr., Sam Evans Sr., Neilon Blair Sr., Edward Stevens, Sue Ann Stevens, Joe Davis, Timothy Butler, Gene Holmes, Dana Jones, Peter Charles, Christy Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles, Ada Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren M. Finch, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, Audrey Finch, William Billingsley Jr., Jennifer Sensenbaugh, Hazel Gasson, Jerry Brantley, Brian Watson Jr., Kaniko Parsons, Jason Cathy, Bradford, Thomas Bradley, also known as Uncle Buki, also known as Gypsy, Reverend Roosevelt Word I, Stacey Tribe, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Leonard, David Brown, Ruth Carter, June Cox, Ruth Cox, Paula Cox, Ronald Urban, Judy Hubbard, Irene Johnson, Francis Booth Jefferson, Dan Wilkinson Sr., Emma McClendon, Jerry Doyle, Amina Robinson, Mary Nichols, Patricia Williams, Shabaka Teray, Greg G2 Gibson, Donna Hill, Richard Gleavers, Lee Irby, Tommy Irby, Boy Irby, Jim Gaucher, George and Hallie Johnson, Archie and Margaret Armstead, Diane Scott, Erica Armstrong, Claire Fox, Gene Evans, Archie Beck, Anna McGill, Charles McDaniel, Christine Cottrell, Aunt Becca, Alice Arnold, Arthur Arnold, Hattie Reed, Charles Reed, Eula and Andrew Baker, Patricia and Edwin Brooks, Gwendolyn and Bob Hatch, Kimball Brennan, Bradley Kim, Janie Harriet McCate, Spencer Sturgis, Shelly Mae Baker, Ethel Baker, Creola Baker, Geneva Baker, Aaron Eno Baby Hatch, Hatch Sr., Molly Miller, Housie Hatch, Dad Cleveland, Mother Gibson, Alex Nixon, John Bowie, Lester and Rachel Saunders, Doretha Ross, Riola Ross, Robert Nelson, Francis Stevenson, Leroy Stokes, Neely Johnson, Fletcher Swan, Maddie and Charlie Scott, Ida Casey, Thomas Coper, Vivian Stevenson, Mona Ann Lewis, Cornetta Lyman Lewis, John Jackson, William Dallas Lewis, Mary Francis, Chappelle Jackson, Michael Slade, Joanne Perkins, Richard Jackson, Martha Ford Dawson, Big Mama, Nanny Harris, Eva Ford, James Harrison, Margaret Towns, Mary Williams, Leroy Q. He Sr., Albert Moore, Miss Vanilla, Albert Motley, Geraldine Elizabeth, Douglas Thompson, Erliston Houston, Lud Alls, Elijah Alls, Jerome Alls, Henry West Staten, Joe Jamel Alls, Ann Pierce, Donald Carter, Lily Green, Nathan Green, Betty Bond, John Dewey, Ruth Beard, Tim Butler, Ramey Laura Newton, J.B. Foggy, Thomas Newton Sr., Barbara Naeem, Minnie Wilson, Catherine Sanders, Muriel Ellis, Elizabeth Sanders, Henrietta Irby, Mildred Armstead, Margaret Armstead, Catherine Anthony, Ruby Brown, Charles Walker Sr., Charlie Walker, Cecil Russell, Diane Urban, Haroon Phillips, William Ford, Margaret Logan, Phyllis Barnett, Lee Urban Sr., Michael Urban, Ozella Watson, Hugo Watson, John Caldwell Sr., Robbie Lee Caldwell, Nevaeh Mitchell, Ron McCormick Sr., Sabrina Easley, Rayshawn Easley, Javea McCormick, Barbara Ann Reed, Dorothy Ann Reed, John Reed, Shekamaha Reed Jr., John Reed Jr., Patricia Reed, Edward R. Benson Sr., Ethel H. McNair, Lois Fernandez, Jacqueline Broadus, Reginald Oliver, Mazarine Cooper, George Swan, Emmanuel Grayson, Charles Scott, Charles H. Scott, Michael Morgan, Charlene Morgan, Sybil Edwards McNabb, Annie Ferguson, William Ferguson, Shelby McClendon. Here we go. Joella Giles, James Carswell, Alberta Adams, also known as Aunt Sis, Elder Shaka McNair, Anthony Brown, Jonathan Ford, Lottie Gaucher, Cousin Tony, Michael Johnson, James Jimmy Johnson, Barbara Shang Lewis, Ronald Shelton Jr., Damian Top, Westina Banks, Joseph Bingham, Quincy, Mama, Aunt Lady, Abraham Isaac Cundiff, Aunt Barbara Lewis, Renee Johnson, Joy, Ryan Ross Riggins, Jamonte, Marcus Price, Ness Words, Marshawn McCarroll, Demetrius Beard, Herb Jepson, Ralph Mickens, Eric Walker, Quasi Sample, Candace Simmons, Severin Clayton, Leonard Jones, Sade Garner, Melvin Scott Sr., Elder Clarence Lumpkin, Elizabeth Johnson, Frank Smith, Stacey Trice, Denisa Goray, Nathaniel Hassan Turner, Khaled Isen, Nigel Turner, Demetrius Lewis Flint, Albert Woods, Geneva Simmons, Daniel Tilley, Angeline Gant, Sharifa, Oscar Kane, Audrey Gripper, Dominique Nichols, Ruth Elaine Johnson, Teresa Sambu, Aunt Maxine, Uncle James, Henry Monger III. We raise up our glass to all of our ancestors and we salute them and we say Ashe. From there, family, we move to the present moment. As you see, I had on the wrong shirt. Wardrobe malfunction. My production team is slipping. Gina over here on her little phone. She ain't got time to help me no more. My water's not full. I don't know what's going on. But we about to start firing people around here. Real life at Gye-Nyame Journey. Sasha! Yes. Have you taken your bath? Yes. You brush your teeth? Yes. You put on your oil, your lotion, shea butter. I don't care. All right. So we are on Nia today. Family, we are activating our reticular formation. We are looking for Nia in our community. Tracking and hunting it down. All right. Catch and release. Do not try to hold Nia. Release it. We want to find it in our community. We want to take pictures. Hashtag Nia. Hashtag Nia found. Hashtag Nia in action. All right. So here we go. Nia today. For those that don't understand, means purpose. Balance is that's Gina filling up my thing. Nobody peeing me. Nia means purpose, which is the principle of the day, which is the day's name. Balance is the Armadic law. Yellow. No, my fault. I'm on the wrong one. We're seeking our Kuumba. Oh my God. Kwame might be over there having a conniption right now. Talking about we on Kuumba. Man, these days off threw me off, family. We're going to seek and hunt down Kuumba. I bet you I put the wrong stream up. I know I did. Oh no. I might have to cut y'all off and start over. Oh my God. Let's see. Oh, damn. All right. Oh, man. All right. Well, y'all know it's Kuumba. I'm going to have to go in and correct that later on. Oh, my God. I'm so ashamed. Kuumba is creativity. We're going to seek our creativity today. The modic principle of the day is order. Color is orange. Cause and effect is the modic principle. Is the hermetic law today. We also have male name for the day is Kwame. Shouts out to all the Kwames. Shouts out to the Amas, which is the female name of the day. We lift up our glass and we salute in proper fashion this day where our power lie, and we say Ashe. From there, family, you know where we go. We move to our children's children onto infinity. Children are excited because they're about to go somewhere they want to be. They don't want to be with me.
Of course we don't.
Why you got your girls peeing in the back there? That is, oh my God. See, Kwame said y'all back there peeing, man. They're not peeing, man. They're just, all right, that's enough water. Cause
it's water.
We've been, whatever. Now the rumor is out. We got people peeing in the back of the Gye-Nyame house, right? But we lift up our glass, we salute our children unto infinity, and we say, I say from there, family, you know where we go from here. We move to all of our relations. We toast them and we say Ashe. From all our relations, family, I toast. This is that selfish toast. What is it that you need in your life right now in order to move to the next level? In this moment, right now. Because this, the moment is all we got. So let's go on, get it out there. And we say Ashe. From there, I toast the most magnificent, marvelous, upstanding, outstanding, wise. I don't think y'all spending the night. Well, Gina said just in case. You know what I'm saying? So y'all gonna pack one bag because I don't want a lot of difficulties. Pack one bag.
Where is my book bag?
I don't. There's one book bag right there. You can pack that bag right there. All right. So we lift up our glass to the most magnificent, uplifting, outstanding individual in the room, and that just happens to be you. Don't be shy. Go and accept it. Go and accept it with your beautiful self, with your wise self, right? With your powerful self. We lift up the glass to you and we salute and we say, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. All right, family, we can do our toast and talk. I got a couple minutes before I have to get my babies to where they need to be. Let me put the call in line. (614-556-4535). Let's get our conversation popping. I got the speaker ready. Let's do it also on the speaker call-in line. Open 614-556-4535. Wow. There we go. So the lines are open. If anybody have anything they want to talk about, but just so that y'all know, we in turbulent times and a lot of secrets are being revealed. So 2 earthquakes in California. They reaching up towards 85 degrees in Alaska. And Donald Trump done dropped another secret on his family.
He lost his plane.
No. They had planes back during the Revolutionary War. They were storming airfields. I knew it. We have been being lied to. Yep, Donald Trump opened up a can of worms there. He let out the secret. They had airplanes back during the Revolutionary War. You heard it here first on Gye-Nyame Journey. Congrats to Kemet and Sezuri on their nuptials on the morrow. Oh, okay. Shouts out to the family out there. We toast members of their family as well. Congratulations. Any call in 614-556-4535. So until y'all do call in, let's go down. Let's see what we have not been able to discuss on the Gye-Nyame Journey timeline. The newsletter is coming. The newsletter is coming. The newsletter is coming. I got a little bit behind last night. I had to finish one of my ebooks, and man, it looked so easy, but once again, it was something just kept popping up, and I kept having to re-up. It was horrible, but I finally got it figured out, I think, and I'm just going to offer this book in different formats because it don't make no sense. The software I got is supposed to make it simple, but then when you upload it, boom. If your paragraphs is too long, it don't even cut them. It'll just leave a whole page empty. So what I'm gonna start doing is figuring out how to use that space. So I have most of the information for the newsletter. You still have a little bit of time if you want to submit something to the newsletter. You need to get with me. Also, I already pulled up the timeline. So the timeline for the newsletter is already taken. I have pictures up from our camping trip in 2018. About 47 pictures and some videos. Those that want to relive some of that. We still got to do at least one camping trip this year. Let's let's see. In the news. All right, somebody posted up a Frederick Douglass speech. The one, of course, on 4th of July. Read by, I can't remember his name right now. Read by, hey, you'll know his voice when you hear it. It'll come to me in a second. We had a show on Ujima. Man, we had some trolls, boy. I mean, when I do my weekend shows, we be having some trolls. I be like, good God Almighty. They ain't got nothing else to do but troll Brother Hatem, and that could be good. So once again, the House Committee files lawsuit for Trump's tax returns. Trump don't want to let them tax returns go. It is what it is. But once again, it'd be easier to figure out who get reparations than it is to get his tax returns. I guarantee that. War is when your government tells you who the enemy is. A revolution is when you figure it out yourself. That's one of the quotes that's going to be on the timeline for the newsletter. Now, the rich get richer, everyone else not so much so. This is in Reuters. Let's go and look at that real quick. Let's see if there's any. All right, no comments. Let's go and talk about this. The rich getting richer. We might not be able to read the whole thing. Well, Reuters is kind of generous with us. Last month, Pink Floyd frontman David Gilmour sold his guitar collection for $21.5 million.
Wait, what?
Including one piece, his famed black Strat Fender Stratocaster that went for nearly $4 million to the owner of the U.S. National Football League's Indianapolis Colts. Lord have mercy. The money. Singer set a musical instrument sales record in the charity auction, marking yet another milestone for a booming market just weeks after New York-based art dealer Sotheby's Holding auctioned Claude Monte's Mules. It's called Mules. It's Meules for $110.7 million, the most ever for an impressionist painting. And it is not just instruments or paintings in high demand among the world's billionaire set. Auction houses themselves now appear to be prized vanity purchases. Just a few days before the Pink Floyd auction, Franco-Israeli cable magnate Patrick Drahi, whose firm Altice earned significant money in the United States, made a $3.7 billion bid for Sotheby's, which had just hosted the Monet sale. Welcome to the longest U.S. economic expansion in history. Can you tell?
This call is being recorded.
We got a call. Sister Navita's calling in. Let me go.
You're killing me, Smalls.
You say who?
You're killing me, Smalls. I don't know if it's your YouTube stream, if it's mine, but you keep going in that circle.
That ain't me. That's
On
them cheap
YouTube.
devices. You need to get on that speaker, girl.
That's your ass, because it was playing fine. And the other time I'm on here, but then sometimes it don't.
You gotta remember, this
didn't know if it was,
is a holiday
you got a bunch
weekend.
of people using the internet
There you
over
go.
there.
And plus, I had to cut off. I mean, I did a lot of stuff wrong this morning. I just wanted to get on before I had to hit this road. I mean, because I got this underneath, so I'm going to go up and change it.
Yeah, I know. I was like, Nia, what is that was Kuumba? But I guess you didn't see my comments. I was like, Kuumba?
Oh, see, and that's a whole nother issue. The comments are not popping up on my stream, period. So I got one from Periscope. That's the only one up here. The other ones is the ones I get from Kwame on Spreaker. So I'm not even seeing a lot of the comments. So I apologize for that. Let me see if I can see them on Hoos. Well, I'm using the Hoot. Well, I'm not on that part of Hootsuite right now. But let me see if I can see them on the Hootsuite. Because a lot of those comments, like I said, I be really wanting to respond, but I can't. Because, I mean, it's just the way it is right now. So they supposed to be working on something, come through a breakthrough and restream so that I will be able to see all of them. But you know what's crazy? When those trolls got on here, I got to see every last one of their shit. But I don't get to see my people's stuff that be coming on a regular basis. No one dare calls a conspiracy, right? So we got motherfuckers buying pictures for $110 million. Hold on. Welcome to the longest U.S. economic expansion in history. One perhaps best characterized by the excess of extreme wealth and ever-widening chasm between the unfathomably rich and everyone else. Indeed, as the expansion entered its record-setting 121st month on Monday, or as we know as Emoji, signs of a new Gilded Age are all over. Big money deals are getting bigger, from corporate mergers and acquisitions to individuals buying luxury penthouses, sports teams, yachts, and all frills pilgrimages to the ends of the earth. And while these deals grab headlines, there's a deeper trend at work. The number of billionaires in the United States has more than doubled in the last decade, from 267 in 2008 to 607 last year, according to UBS. The rich have gotten richer. They've gotten richer faster, said John Matthews, head of private wealth management and ultra high net worth at UBS Global Wealth Management. The driver of the desire for consumption has just gone upscale. But there also are signs of struggle and stagnation at lower income levels. Now, let's just think about this, family. You know, we already know where we are on the scale. So if it's slowing down for everybody else, what is it for you? Right? But there are also signs of struggle and stagnation at lower income levels. The wealthiest fifth of Americans hold 88% of the country's wealth. A share that has grown since before the crisis. Federal Reserve data through 2016 shows. Meanwhile, the number of people receiving federal food stamps tops 39 million. Below the peak in 2013, but still up 40% from 2008, even though the country's population has only grown about 8%. So, you know, I mean, we still.
I mean, we know the gap is the old school middle class, so to speak. That's a dying breed. You either got it, or you either have and the have not.
Oh, it's there now. It's there, and you know, the piece that we have to take into account is, being ADOS, where do we really stand in that? We got all. I mean, it's just crazy. So the reason I put stuff up like this is because I really want us to really look at where we are in this whole piece and start dealing with it from a realistic perspective, rather than dealing with it from some of the fantasies that you be hearing some of these people talking about when they come on here or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then also to move us to stop being accepting of these behaviors. If it's inappropriate behavior, we need to be able to call it out, and we need to be able to start really dealing with it, especially when it comes to our politics, because we are being dealt with totally incorrect when it comes to politics, and it's not okay.
What about the people that say, how can you publicly put down another black person? That's creating dissension and separation in the community when you do that. What do you say to those?
What I say to that is this, right? I'm building a tribe. I'm building family right now. I'm taking care of my family. If your interests conflict with mine, then we have an issue. And we shouldn't, I mean, in a sense, like I said, once again, that gets to us establishing those borders, establishing that line. When people are outside that, we have to be able to evaluate, are they us or are they not us? You understand what I'm saying? Because it becomes dangerous when we just allow it to float out there. We see what happens to us, Navita, when we just allow it to float out there. We've been allowed to float out there for years. Now, the internet is full of just crazy motherfuckers feeling they can say whatever they want, whenever they want. It's full of individuals that supposedly represent us, but they don't. We got motherfuckers representing us on the news, but they don't represent us. But they supposed to speak for us.
Roland Martin said if, we some ignorant-ass Negroes, the ones who want to get out and publicly say things against Kamala Harris.
You said...
He's saying... I call her Kamala. What is that, Olive? Kamala, whatever. But anyway, yeah, he said that we some ignorant Negroes that we got the nerve to be talking about this intelligent black woman, and we need to be more educated on her before we speaking against her. We just some dumb, ignorant Negroes.
Wow. See, he drew a line. See, you understand what I'm saying? He drew a line.
Mm-hmm.
Lesson, right? I'm not mad at Roland. Roland let you know where he stand. Not mad. Your interest conflict with mine. Hence, we have beef. That's called beef. You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about no dollars. We're not talking about him stepping on my shoes. We're talking about where he's very clear with his interest. He's very clear on his stand. And what we have to be willing to do is be able to stand. That's what the whole piece about tribing up is about. So that you can start finding those individuals in our people that are like you. And start tribing up. We have to. Because we're coming to a point in time where we are being pushed into a corner. Because when they talk about a wealth gap, yes, it affects white America. Yes, it affects Hispanic America. Yes, it affects Asian America. But I'm concerned about how it affects Black America. And on top of Black America, I'm more concerned about how it affects individuals in my tribe. Period. Whether you in my tribe here or you in Burkina Faso, I have to be concerned because that's what I'm supposed to do. And I have to be able to have these conversations so that we start being able to have the code, have the idea, because we have to start, one, training up our young people, and two, we got to start training up ourselves, because we know we got a bunch of people out here on some foolishness. Slow down, Kwame. Kwame said, ask Navita if she ever arrived at the conclusion that Abina in 2000 season told the rest of the initiation crew that they were in danger, in addition to Insunisi telling them.
We talked about that last night, and I got your message from Mama Alona saying that she told them through the dance. So I gotta revisit the dance piece. I kind of glanced over it in class last night, but I got to revisit the dance piece to see what she very well may have somehow told them that these white folks is about to do you in through the dance. But so which goes for to say that she did tell them, and there would be something problematic, in my opinion, if she didn't. But you gotta read the book 2000 Seasons, which is a very, in my opinion, brutal book. Oh my God, boy.
You say it's brutal?
Shit.
So
yeah.
Tell them where y'all reading the book.
Okay, well, we are reading the book at Zawadi Bookstore. We actually have a study group / book club, which is based from ASCAC, which is the ancient cities of African
civilization.
What is it? Civilizations and cultures, something like that. Yeah. So, you could come. Anybody's welcome to come. Friday nights at 6. right now we're reading the book 2000 Seasons, and I cannot pronounce the brother's name. Ikwe Arma. I think that's it. Ikwe Arma. But, so basically, in the book, we're at the part where the sister Abina is on the ship with the white destroyers. This is a fictional book. She's based on some historical facts, though. So she's on the ship with the white destroyers, and they invite the other Africans. They cruise off to another place, invite these Africans, come on in, and, we got wine and drinks and, jewelry and what Tariq would call the nigger trinkets. We got the nigger trinkets. Come on board and check out the nigger trinkets. So before after the party,
they got some nice
party
nigger
was
trinkets.
over, he says, we got some jewelry for you. They got some jewelry for you in the bottom of the boat. Come on down. You got some bracelets and anklets.
Yeah, they real made out of a heavy metal. Yeah.
Right.
Nice chains for your ass too. Thick chains for your ass.
Right. So they made them vulnerable, made them weak because they lost their way as Africans because they didn't typically partake in these type of festivities, especially with, like you said, people who are not in your tribe. And my thing was, well, I ain't the sister who was on board. I was like, why didn't she tell him? Like, yo, I better get the fuck out of here. They about to do y'all. But, we had that debate last time, and so Kwame is saying, well, she told him through a dance that she had done. So I'm like, okay, because I got to tell you, like, look, bruh,
wait a minute.
To do y'all.
How could y'all know that she told them through the dance? I mean, was there preludes to the dance? Because this is a book. So it's not like you can actually see the dance. Did she do a specific dance? What dance did she do?
She did a dance, and then somewhere in the dance, I remember she stopped abruptly and doesn't finish the dance. And I'm trying to figure out if that was the interpretation that she's telling them to go on because she didn't finish the dance in its entirety, or I'm trying to figure out, is it the white destroyers was the reason why she typically doesn't finish the dance. And I thought that they really wanted her to do the dance anyway, the Yodi. So I don't know.
All right, Kwame is going crazy. Let me read the stuff. Critical analysis of another's perspective should not be a problem. Are their interests compatible with our own or not? And then we act accordingly. Look how they did Tavis Smiley and Dr. West when criticizing the former President Obama. A lot of y'all remember that. I mean, Tavis Smiley used to be a regular on Tom Joyner, and then he had a small disagreement about Obama. Somebody else was on the line. I'm sorry. Whoever was on the line, call back in, and we will get to you. Critical analysis of another perspective should not be a problem. Are their interests compatible with our own or not? And then we act accordingly. We need to be able to mark out our allies and our enemies and our relatives. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that because everybody else, you know what I'm saying? And just because everybody else is doing don't make it right, but it is a survival technique. It is a necessity for survival. Look how they did. Last one. Hold on, because Kwame going crazy. He got about two more here. These are cultural messages being expressed between West African initiates. They all have been introduced to the same information and means of expression. She also told them through the dance, I guess, how she looked at them all throughout the experience. 2000 Season is a historical fiction. The dance was a birthing ritual.
Right.
So how the birthing ritual was a warning.
I thought I gotta read back and see how that's still a warning.
All right, I might have to get the damn book now.
Sometimes I think they want to make every African be doing the right thing, but sometimes they do make mistakes. That's just. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. But that's human. You know what I'm saying? We all make mistakes.
Right, it's human.
We all make mistakes. I ain't mad at you for making a mistake. But like you said, you if she didn't, you're supposed to feel a certain type of way. You know what I'm saying? But Another piece is that all this information. Brother. The Black Yoda done called in. Here we go. Hey. Come on, Kwame. Put that bottle of water over there, please, before it start leaking. Go ahead, Kwame. I read your quote. You know, you ain't got to call in all upset.
I ain't never said that. Just to clarify some things. So, first of all, this Abinah character was among a group of like 10 other initiates or so. They had a master teacher called Gye-Nyame. Now, Gye-Nyame had been put out of the village because he wanted to teach the right way. But he was training them, the initiates. So all of the initiates, you know, because this is a cultural thing, all of them are, you know, being introduced to the same cultural means of expression. And of course, dance was one. The other week I explained to them how hanging out with Miss Susan and, you know, hanging out with Charlotte and watching the Chassan West African dance.
You said hold on. Stop. You said you was watching the African dance? Is that what you just said?
Yeah. My wife dances for me, and I feel on her while she dances. You know.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
So, I don't know, some of you may know or may not, but anyway, there's a master teacher, Madi Boss, who comes in from time to time from Senegal.
Hold on, Kwame. Hold on. Your phone sounds horrible, man. What's going on?
Yeah, it sounds like he's in a car or something and the windows may be down.
Yeah, man, no, that's my fan. That was my fan.
Oh, okay.
It was feeling good, too. So anyway, so what it is that the message is, you know, when you have a master drummer and a master dancer, or in this case, a master dancer, a slight tilt of the head, a slight dip of the hip is a means they can express how they want the drummer to change the cadence. And so in this birthing ritual, Abinah was the main dancer, of course, and, you know, she was doing her dance. And at the moment that the birthing ritual was to reach its fruition or come to its completion, she would signal to the drummer to, you know, to regress or to go back to the beginning. And so the impression that you're given is that even though the birth, you know, the the conception takes place, but the birthing is never completed. In other words, it's aborted. And so he's trying to relay the message that, look, or one of the messages, because there's several messages on several layers that are being conveyed, but one of the main messages at this point that we're meant to take away is that, look, we were in the middle of our initiation process. We, quote unquote, completed one aspect of it, but after they were supposed to go under master teachers so that they could become masters in their own right, but they were invited to a party. And before they go to the party, she does this birthing ritual dance where basically she's showing that the birthing is not completed. It's aborted. And so that's one method of him, you know, of explaining to them, look, we're aborting our mission here. We're off track. You know, let's not do this. So that's one aspect of it. But even before then, their master teacher, Gye-Nyame, was telling them, look, don't trust these white people. You know, and he's reminding them, what they've been reminded several times, that they had ancient prophecies that said that, look, you know, you just, quote unquote, you just came out of the hand of the predator. But the white destroyer is even worse than the predator. And so they're being told, okay, don't trust these white people. Don't trust these white people. And nonetheless, after Gye-Nyame, their master teacher, tells them not to trust them, Abana warns them with a dance, and even as they're starting to board the boat and everything, she's looking at them like, you know this isn't the right thing. You know this isn't the right thing. And even while they're on the boat, they're getting drunk. She's looking at them like, you fools have lost your damn mind. They start to put on the nigga trinkets, and she's like, no, I ain't having no part of this. And so she's told them not only through, you know, her look, her dance, and what she does, is that's the most important thing. You know, there's no other way she can convey to them not to do what they wanted to do. And many of us found her. Go ahead.
She couldn't just say, look, they about to, because she was already familiar with what was about to go down. And instead of giving them just a look like, okay, couldn't she just say, look here, you go on here and you get to drinking and partying with these folks, it's going to be your demise. I've seen it done. I've seen it done.
Okay, so let's say, okay, so you, Hakim, and I are discussing what we're going to do. And we're surrounded by white people, right? And they ain't leaving us to ourselves. And we're just supposed to reveal, I mean, all the means we have to communicate, which within our culture is clearly understood. But you'd rather just come out and say, look, white folks, this is what we're going to do?
No, but I thought there was a point from, and that's why I got to go back and revisit. There was a point in the book I recall, where she had conversed with them, and the white people were not in close proximity, where she was able to talk to them. And I remember thinking, why didn't she say something then? But I mean, I don't know.
But again, so really, what I hear you saying is you expressly wanted her communication to be verbal. And we as Africans have a lot more ways of communicating than through the verbal. And it sounds like you're not giving these other means of communication the same kind of respect you're giving the verbal, because Isunisi gave him the verbal. And Mama Alona was trying to tell me yesterday, I didn't remember it, but Elder Alona was trying to say that even Abana had given them the verbal. I didn't
remember that, because I remember thinking, wow, even when he gave them the verbal, he gave it, but she was the one that knew, and he said don't trust them, the white folks. He already had told them, don't trust them.
Isunisi knew better than even Abana knew.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And they didn't listen to him. He was the master teacher. And they didn't listen to him. So basically all she was doing was trying to reinforce the message that Isunisi gave them.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, there are going to be those black folks, even those who run with us from time to time, who just ain't going to hear what we saying. It doesn't matter how we tell them. We can draw all the models on the board, use all the math, science. It don't matter.
Yeah, well, I guess they didn't listen, but
I mean,
apparently they sure didn't listen to Indonesia, but because they went in there.
They weren't trying to be perceptive. You know, they thought they were. In other words, you know, there's a number of things they got in the way, but you know, the first thing was their ego. You know, how the hell you've been told all this time that these people are here to kill your ass, and just because they throw a party, quote unquote, in your honor, what sense does that make?
Right, and that translates even into, you know, still happening today.
Absolutely. And those folks who are quote unquote initiates, whether they got their bachelor's, master's, PhDs, graduate studies and then all that kind of stuff. Those are one forms of initiates. And some of them know, but some of them still want to be, quote unquote, rewarded by the very one who would just as soon kill them as to stand by and say, look, this is what our history has shown us. And so, based on that, common sense would say we need to do something to help survive or help our people survive.
Kind of reminds me of in the 90s. I don't know if y'all remember this happening in the 90s when they sent out a series of letters telling people they won the lottery or some kind of money. And
they do that on the internet now, baby.
You remember that? And then when they showed up, they got arrested.
Oh, they do that on the internet now. Yeah, they use the same tricks. But I might have won. I'm going anyway. I might have won.
And, I can't trust these people. I might have won something. They might, they giving me some money. I'm about to go on over here and see what they got. Then they guess what they got: the anklets and the bracelets when you show up that they talked about.
Pretty silver ones, dude.
The nigga trinket.
The nigga trinkets. So that we have to be. And I mean, y'all bringing the whole issue is family, because a lot of this information that we have, our people, it ain't just our people, but people in general are not moved by stats, are not moved by a plethora of information. They're moved by, in a sense, the story, the symbols.
That's right.
Because it speaks to something it speaks to them in a way that's deeper than just all of this stuff that we use to mask who we are. And that's
let me insert real quick.
Go ahead.
Because you hit on a really critical point. Now, think of the dance that I was doing. She's telling a story. She's including the movement and the drum. That's all. I mean, that is the consummate way that Africans communicate. That's the consummate way. So if they ain't gonna get it on those levels,
they ain't gonna get it.
Mr. Boat.
They ain't gonna get it.
Or in this case, they caught the boat, unfortunately.
Right.
And we have to. So, in one of the key pieces we strive for in Gye-Nyame is making sure that ourselves and our young people are symbol literate. You know what I'm saying? And be able to and to start learning how to communicate with people in the way that they can hear you. When I was younger, I was working with a young man, and I tell the story all the time. I was trying to meet with this brother, and I didn't know that I knew his OG. So one day I was talking to one of my brothers who was this young dude's OG. I said, damn, I've been trying to reach this little brother for long. He said, Little Ray? I don't know. Is that what y'all call him? He said, yeah. I said, look, you go over there tomorrow at 1 o'clock. He'll be there waiting for you. So I go over there at 1 o'clock, and instead of hiring from me, he came out. He like, such told me I was supposed to meet with you. You had some good stuff for me. You a good dude. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking to him, and we're riding, and he listening. Ain't moving or nothing. He just listening. I said, well, what's going on with you? He said, man, I hear you, but I don't feel you. I said, damn. I understand. Thank you for your honesty. Cool. So, and from there was there, and because the whole piece was, I was talking to a lot of young brothers, and they was hearing me, but they wasn't feeling me in a real sense. But now they done they done watered down the whole idea of feeling to a point where, hey, you know what I'm saying? You ain't supposed to feel as a dude, blah, 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 all this. So they dumb as the attack on us is in so many different directions. It took, oh my God, I can't think of the elder's name, Wakesa, to come be like, yo, we need to plug back into our feelings. You know what I'm saying? So that we can start reaching some of the people that we really want to reach. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because we robbing ourselves. We're missing the boat on so many levels because we want to throw out the charts and the graphs. You know what I'm saying? And that works to a certain extent, but until they start filling the information, it will not move them. It was the feeling that they got when they walked into the halls of the Nation of Islam. They felt them. The same thing with the Black Panther Party. They felt it. The same thing that got individuals out there in that civil rights struggle. It wasn't the statistics. They all knew what was going on, but they had to feel that if something had to be done, and they had to feel that they were the ones to do it. And until we get to that point in our movement, you know what I'm saying? It's just going to be 4 of us. It's just gonna be 4 of us and the elders. You know what I'm saying? So, we got to get to a point where we are evolving our message so that people can feel what we're talking about. Give me something she can feel, or something like that. It's a song out there like that. You know what I'm saying?
Aretha Franklin and En Vogue did that.
Right. Well, give me something that he could feel. You know what I'm saying? We got to be able to do that. I mean, because that's real. She was trying to give them something they could feel, but because they got caught up, because this will happen. We get pulled out of our culture, and we want to be like everybody else's culture. I am sophisticated, and I am, you know what I'm saying? Because that happened to me several times in building Gye-Nyame, where somebody would come and they will be refined and shit, and get all this. Because people be like, Brother Hatim, you in many ways, I'm paranoid because it's like a lot of outside influences, like bringing people in and stuff like that. I'm very careful about who I bring in. I'm very careful about what books I use because I already know how, and I cuss here all the time. I already know how certain niggas move. I done been through that already. So when you introduce certain information, we just fell off Facebook. I think they be cutting me off when I cuss. When you introduce certain things to people that you're responsible for, you have to understand that you are, in a sense, exposing them to others that may not have good intentions. Because this done happened to me several different times. On Ohio State, off Ohio State, in the streets, where you bring somebody in to do something, and next thing you know what I'm saying, they trying to live in your house. As a matter of fact, they're not satisfied with the guest room. They want your room. So I'm very careful about it.
They just want to change your decor.
They won't know. They want you out. Because I done been through that several times. So I'm very careful about when we start talking about bringing people in and stuff like this. I'm very careful about that because I already know. Because they already got their program together where they giving people something they can feel. When you're dealing with people every day, sometimes you got to go to the hard facts. You got to go to the real statistics. I can make you, but somebody from the outside come in and all that stuff that you done spent, they get them in their feelings, and next thing you know, everybody gone. And then that person could just leave town, and now you got to start from zero. That happened to me about 3 times.
Oh.
3 times. In conscious organizations. Like, nah, I'm 51 now. That shit is not going down anymore. This is why when y'all be seeing me kind of resistant, we're like, who we bringing? Yeah, who we bringing? Who we bringing? You know what I'm saying? So, but family, it's been a great conversation. I'm going to give y'all the final word. Black Yola, let the Black Yola first. We're gonna leave Miss Albana last. Miss Albana Navita last. So she gonna say her little thing. Then I'm going. Oh, my fault.
So she can do her dance.
Hold on.
Right.
My fault. We're gonna switch it around because Kwame, I think it's your day. Is it your day today?
It's my day.
All right. So Kwame, you go last. Navita, I have to renege. Broke a promise.
Renee.
Oh my God. Go ahead. Give him some final words to go off into the sunset with. Give him something they can feel.
All right, well, as we go out through the day, let's touch, and that doesn't have to be a physical touch. We're talking about that feeling thing. Touch and agree, and each one seeks three, I say.
Ashe. It's on you, Brother Kwame.
I ain't got nothing to say other than I'll welcome my great nephew into the world today.
All right.
And many blessings upon him and my nephew Orlandis and his honey bunny or whatever he calls her these days, Triana. And let's make this black world a better black place.
Ashe.
I say.
So, what's
I
up?
got one question for y'all. I just remembered that Kwame, you missed this from last night in class. It can be quick. But if any of you two, this was a question that came up in class last night. Have any of you ever seen a continental African woman pour libation?
That might not be allowed in the tradition. I think.
Have you ever seen it? That's the question.
I haven't seen it. But I think Maladomi Some's wife might have done it. But I don't. No, I haven't.
I haven't seen it.
Man, just answer the
question
question.
they asked in class last night. I just want to know if anybody else. I think Elder West said he can't remember his answer, but most people had not seen it. If anyone said they did, it may have been Elder West. I was just, like I said, it may be their tradition that women. They've shown a lot of times their religion, whether it be Christianity or Islam, sometimes may also forbid that. But this is one if anybody else has seen that.
So, Sister Navita put a call out.
But what about well, no, that's still not continental. Because I started going into the offsprings, if you will, offspring religions from the continent, those that are found in, Brazil and Latin America and New Orleans and down there in Alabama and Georgia and Carolinas, some of them roots.
New Orleans.
Workers.
He said, get down in the roots. I feel you.
Look, man, I call it the Juba boy. So, shit. They work that Juba on you, man. I don't know.
I don't know either, man.
I don't either, man.
You're right. They work them roots on you. It's over. Nah, we actually, we kind of got a head start on all that because we got ancestors that step up and knock shit out the way for us. So I'm not a lot of that. We don't really have to unless we going totally outside our values. Because the beautiful thing about the ancestors, man, as long as you in the principles, you straight. But as soon as your ass straight, ba-da-ba! You getting a big slap. Like, shit. I didn't know.
Some people gonna get the shit slapped out of them.
Oh, man. See, but the key piece is most of the time it's those that know. So what we have to do is we got to let people know, yo, your ancestors out here, fam. Once they know, then they get held. We got a lot of people out here acting on ignorance, and ignorance is a shield. You know what I'm saying? Well, I ain't even gonna say ignorance. They just don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because they actually believe all of the stuff. They believe all the stuff that they have been told. You know what I'm saying? Spookism and all this. And all that. They believe all that. So, other than that, but eventually as we start spreading the word, people gonna start, knowing and then be like, damn, maybe I shouldn't do that. Cause I heard, Miss Sally's toe fell off and some shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
But here's what I'm talking about. See, I don't know what y'all talking about. You see, Charlotte's mom from South Carolina. And first time I saw Charlotte, man, it was over. Charlotte was wearing this sundress like I ain't never seen a woman wear a sundress.
I know that.
Look, I'll just sum it up in these two sentences. Yesterday made 19 years of marriage.
Wow. Congratulations, Kwame.
I've been with her for going on 30 years.
You know what that means, Kwame?
Yeah. She worked that jube on me.
And that could be a good thing,
Hey.
It's always a bad thing.
I'm all right with that.
Right.
You said, man, I wasn't even going to say that, but damn, I'm going to shut my mouth. Damn, but hey, you said 30 years? And you met her at Ohio State?
No. Well, she was at Ohio State. I had graduated from Oberlin at that point.
Man.
So I was still doing the shoeleg at the Atkinson Center for Study and Worship when
we old, man. Do you know we at the age that Noma was?
Ain't that crazy?
We at the age where Noma was. Noma used to look at me, boy, I got one good slam left in me. Don't make me use it on you, Peanut. Like, nigga, why you keep calling me Peanut? I've been around a long time, only grown man call me Peanut. I'd be like, man, stop calling me that, man. I'll call you what I want. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, did you ever, real quickly, when we did me, Brother Ed, Brother Dave did we had Ray Hagens here at the King Arts Complex, and we did a community, what is that, like a ceremony honoring revolutionaries in the community. And we gave away awards to community revolutionaries in the form of arts, to warriorism, education, etc. And I remember Brother Nomo, they wheeled him in and we awarded him as a community warrior in the community. Were you there, Hatem?
Probably. I don't remember, but probably because I went to several award ceremonies. Because whenever he got something, he put the call out.
And that's what I'm thinking too. See, I went to several awards where he was honored. And so hell, I can't place one.
But yeah,
fine. It was a Juneteenth weekend, but okay.
Well, now, if it was that far back, I might not went because if it's that far back, because for a while I was on stage at Juneteenth for a long time, so I might not did that, but we might need to start bringing back the award. We need to start.
I definitely think we should, because we honored him and Elder West as the master artist, musician, or something like that, and the awards were real nice. And then we did, I want to say Baba Carter maybe, or Dr. Kelsey, I can't remember.
Yeah, man, where's Baba? Man, we got to call Baba Carter in at some point, man. Cause
yeah,
he got some stories to tell.
And that's what we need to really start exposing our young people to, man. Like I said, the stories. See, because it's easy. Because one of the things, like now, this is what Greg Carr got. Greg Carr got a way of taking somebody else's story And when he get done weaving that story, he got you. You understand what I'm saying? But nobody could tell your story better than you. And while we still got some of these elders around, they need to be sitting down talking with our young people. Not about young boy, what you need to do now. When I was your age, let me explain my life to you. You know what I'm saying? So that we can start getting those stories. Because like I said, a lot of conversations, it was personal conversations that affected me more than historical conversations with people.
Right. And that's where the feeling piece comes
there
in.
You go.
You can relate to something, you can feel it. You know what I'm saying? So like you said, all that, well, this is what, you know, the Zosia, the story of Zosia, and you know, her steps. See, that's all cool, but I can relate to you when you tell me a story. I'm like, damn, I've been through that.
Right.
I didn't know, because sometimes people feel like
they by themselves.
Certain elders feel like you above you don't get it. But my son always like, you don't even been through nothing. You know, you don't understand. And I'm like, but I do understand. You know what I'm saying? You just don't listen, motherfucker. He one of them ones that didn't want to listen, but.
What's your other grandson's name? Levon's cousin.
I think you
Jay.
What is Jamal?
Gye-Nyame. You talking about the cousin?
Okay, Jay. I can't think of the brother's name, man. You know, so I be praying for our family, you know, and shoot, I can't think of the brother's name. I was like,
it's the intention.
Levon's cousin. I say Levon's cousin.
There you go. It's the intention. Because now
check it out. I started off telling Gina and Sasha a story. And man, they got so encapsulated for about the next 2-3 months when we meet at Warrior Trainer and stuff. She's like, you gonna continue that story for us?
Okay.
And but it's that personal. It's that person. Hey, excuse me. My daughter, real life at Gye-Nyame Journey. Hey, come on now. You singing? I can't. The being able to relate, plugging people into who you are, and then also being able to find those type of things where our young people can relate to other people. But I want to say this to you, Nabi, and all those parents out there. When we look at the traditional structure of our families, right? Mm-hmm. For example, my wife's uncle was viewed in many ways as her dad. Even though he was her uncle, he had to take responsibility for her. So she was able to listen to him in a way that she couldn't listen to her birth dad and her birth mom. He'd be able to tell her what to do. See, and what we got to understand, sometimes this is why we got to really get back into building this structure. Because somebody said, man, what type of business is Gye-Nyame? And I try to always explain it because it's always morphing. And the whole piece that I got to get to is that it's a family. It's a tribe. It's not a business. Is money involved, but what we building is a family structure. Because a tribe is a group of families that come together and decide that we is us against the world. If the world work with us, it's cool. If the world don't, then we gonna die together. We gonna win together or we gonna die together. That's a tribe. It's a family. And it's kind of hard to...
Now, stop there for a moment. Now do you understand why Abana continued the journey with the other initiates?
Yeah, that came up in class yesterday because they asked her, like, why didn't you just bounce when you had the chance? You know, she's like, if I go out by myself, I'm nothing without my tribe.
Without my tribe.
Wander around alone.
That's a deep concept. And check this shit out. And just bringing up some other shit. I'm reading a book right now. The book is called...
20 books right now, man.
Well, you know, I'm old. I can't keep up with y'all right and all that, right? You know, but I do have those audio books. So, I'll be going through a YouTube University, and I stumbled on this book called A Man of Honor, the Joseph Bonanno story. right? And I'm going through the book, and this Italian is breaking down the whole concept of mafia. And I'm sitting up here listening to this shit, and I'm like, oh my God. See, because what a lot of people don't understand is that if Sicily was in the lower part of Italy, this means that a lot of the stuff that they might be carrying, they might have got from you.
Yep.
Right.
Hannibal.
We know about, the history of...
You see what I'm saying? But his whole piece was, I'm not a criminal, I'm just a Don. And what's a Don? People be like, Don is king. He said, no, a Don is father. I'm a father of my family. And I have to manage the affairs of my family. And I don't receive money for being the father. I mean, he's so smooth. It was so smooth, you know what I'm saying? Like, you motherfucker, I know you done killed about 600 million motherfuckers out there and shit like that. And y'all involved in all, but what he was saying, the underlying piece is about family. And I am nothing, and because you said, I am nothing without my family. And what we have been convinced is that you can be something without your family. In America, it's rugged individualism, and they get you out there by yourself and they torture your ass. Many of us keep on falling for it. We keep falling for the same trick, thinking that we can escape blackness, because that's what a lot of us, and we're training our children to get them to think that they can escape blackness, even though we don't label it as that. But many of us are trying to escape blackness, and we can't do that. This is why it's like, for, because it'll be easy for me to focus on my kids. Work my job, focus on my kids. But I already know how that goes. Because if I focus only on my kids, what start to happen is that other kids start to leak into their lives. And other experiences start to leak into their lives. So what I want to do is I want to control the environment, or at least have some say in an environment in which I immerse my children with other children, so that I can make sure that my children do not come up alone, come up isolated, and do not come up unprotected.
Right.
And that's all we could do. So going back to the whole piece with the son, your son in many cases, he's supposed to respect you, but in many ways you won't be able to reach him. That's why, in a sense, we got to form these brother and sister, real brother and sister relationships, where the young man and young women will have those other adults. Because oftentimes, as parents, we have certain expectation of our children. They be like, man, I ain't trying to hear that shit. But when they hear from Uncle Joe and Uncle Kwame and Brother Hatim, be like, damn, all y'all saying, it ain't exactly the same, because Brother Hatim cuss a lot, but the basic idea is there. He cuss, well, my mama cuss more than him, but the basic idea is there. You understand? And then this is what's even crazier. Think about this. Our children spend their lives looking for tribes to a point where they start forming tribes themselves.
Yep.
Because your son is in a tribe. Now, well, my issue was, when I was out there, was, how do I become an influencer on these tribes to where I can have Bloods and Crips living in my house, folks? How can I create something where I have enough influence that regardless of what flag one of these boys come up under here, when they up in here, they understand it's Gye-Nyame. You don't listen.
Right.
Listen, you come in with that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I got your blood brother here. I got your blood brother here that will be able to deal with you on that. You know what I'm saying? Because the whole piece is, we got to transcend all that, because it's family. It's tribe. You know what I'm saying? But y'all done got me. I need to be gone, man. How y'all gonna entice me with some bullshit?
All right, I'm out of here.
All right, one love.
Peace, family.
Right.
Family, I want to remind you that you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey, the place of the congregation of the mighty. the home of the stubborn minority, where your hustle builds muscle. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. I'm your host, Brother Hatim. We have been joined by the Black Yoda himself, Mr. Kwame, and Sister Abananavita. And this has been your Daily Toast. And of course, you know it's a Heart of a Simple production, where we strive to blow up your old paradigms. Family, I will see you in the morning, late morning, early afternoon for the toast, because I don't know what time I'm getting back. I'm out. Peace.